Well, it's a very warm welcome back to second half independent off-tube studio commentary from the game at Old Trafford. The second half has just got underway. Brentford kicking off in this second half, leading 1-0 at Old Trafford after a goal from Matthias Jensen on 26 minutes. But United have got to take a partial assist for that goal. It was a free kick to United inside their own half. They gave the ball away. They then couldn't clear the ball when it entered into the penalty area. And then in addition to that, Onana should have really saved it when it was a shot down the middle. But United have started the second half with at least one change I can see. I'm just waiting to see if I can confirm any others. But Casemiro has gone off the field and he's been replaced by a former Brentford man in Christian Eriksen. Eriksen, of course, famously coming back from his heart problems to join Brentford in their first season in the Premier League. And as I say, he certainly had a big hand in steadying Brentford and getting them those extra goals, that extra bit of attacking flair to ensure that the Bees did stay up in their first season. Brentford certainly wanted Eriksen to stay another year or two, but Eriksen, I think, having regained his fitness and his reputation, if you like, and proving that he can still cut it in the Premier League, there was always an opportunity for him to go elsewhere. It's no surprise really to see him arrive at Old Trafford. But he's on in the second half now, and we'll wait to see how that affects things. But United pushing forward early on in the second half, getting towards the edge of the area already. Bruno Fernandes just holding it up, going back towards Eriksen. It is Eriksen's ball in, and Nathan Collins underneath that one gets a header away back into midfield as Wissa holds this up, lays it off now for Hickey. Under a bit of pressure there, just about gets away from Mason Mount. Didn't have a good first half for Mason Mount. Just waiting to see if there are any other changes. There aren't, so I can run you through the two teams now. Andre Onana is in goal for Manchester United. A back four of Victor Lindelof, Harry Maguire, Johnny Evans and Diogo Dalot. Christian Eriksen, who replaces Casemiro, and Sofian Amrabat. They're the two holding midfielders. The three ahead of them are Bruno Fernandes, Mason Mount and Marcus Rashford. Rasmus Højlund is the front man for Brentford. Thomas Strakosha is in goal. A back three of Christopher Ajer, Ethan Pinnock and Nathan Collins. Two wide men, Mads Roerslev on the right, Aaron Hickey on the left. The three in midfield, Matthias Jensen, Christian Norgard and Vitaly Janelt, with Johan Wissa and Brian Mbeumo as the two up front. Here come United now. It's Højlund on the ball. Norgard with the challenge. He's saying he won the ball off his fellow countryman. Referee Andy Madley does not agree. Not only is it a free kick to United, it's actually a yellow card for Norgard as well. Let's just see from the replay. Yeah, he never gets the ball. At no point does he have any contact with the ball there, Norgard, so it's absolutely the right decision. It was a clumsy challenge, really, from a central midfielder that should know better in that kind of position. But United now take the free kick short. It's Eriksen down the left-hand side, trying to get a ball into the box there. It's quickly charged down. Brentford clear their lines. Quick ball away by Roerslev, but that goes out for a throw. Just to tell you, just to remind you of the scores in the other games. Burnley 1, Chelsea 1. It's Everton 2, Bournemouth 0, and Fulham 0, Sheffield United 0. But there was a lot of injury time at the end of the first half at Craven Cottage, so that game hasn't kicked off yet for the second half, despite the fact that we're on 48 minutes here, and it's 49 and 50 minutes in the other two games. And just getting word as well of a penalty for Chelsea at Turf Moor. So it's going to be a very difficult one for Burnley if Chelsea were to score that. It's been a difficult start for Vincent Kompany's side. Did get their first win in the league away to Luton on Tuesday night. Say it's going to be a long old season for Vincent Kompany's side, you feel, but we'll see whether or not Chelsea do convert that penalty. In the meantime, a long ball now played towards the edge of the Brentford penalty area. Strakosha is out and he makes the save. Brentford playing out from the back here. Pinnock going square to Ajer, who gets away from Rashford and then plays a ball through the middle. Here is Jensen playing an early ball into the box. It was the right idea, but it was just a little bit too close to Onana. And Mbeumo is chasing that one, but Onana is always going to get there first. And United playing out from the back here now. Amrabat to Dalot, finding Bruno Fernandes. Diagonal ball from him. Quickly taken down in midfield. And here is Norgard now looking for... Oh, that's... Again, the intention was right from Norgard to ping that ball out towards the left-hand side for Wissa, but he's put far too much on that. No chance for Wissa to get on the end of that one. Dalot now restarting play with a throw for United down the right-hand side. I'm getting word that Chelsea have converted their penalty. So it is Burnley 1, Chelsea 2 at Turf Moor. Meanwhile here, it's Bruno Fernandes, gets a bit of a knee in the back there from Christian Norgard. Norgard is on a yellow card. I don't think there was ever any danger of the referee thinking that was going to be a second yellow, but even so, he needs to be careful there, Norgard. So we saw Bissouma in the earlier game, so they get ridiculous. Yeah, in the second, ridiculous from his point of view. It was the right decision to send him off, but it was such a bad decision to dive when he was already on a yellow card. Here come United now, though. They're pushing forward down the right-hand side. It's Mount over to Dalot. His ball into the box is swept away and out for a throw to United down the right-hand side. It was Norgard with the clearance. United now with the throw back towards Sofian Amrabat. Amrabat holding this one up. And it's just to confirm, it was Cole Palmer, former Manchester City man, that gets the goal for Chelsea from the penalty spot. But United did have the ball at the edge of the Brentford penalty area. They've preferred to go back towards the halfway line now. Starting again here on the left. The ball played into the penalty area. It's a turn and shot. There's an offside, I think, in the meantime. And Bruno Fernandes, in his classic style, can't believe that he was offside, but the flag has gone up. And I think it was the correct decision. He was a mile off at one stage. By the time he gets the pass, he was closer to being level, but he's still offside. Erik ten Hag looking very confused at this decision, but it is a Brentford free kick. Just to tell you as well that game at Craven Cottage had 16 minutes of added time at the end of the first half, so to say, don't expect any play there anytime soon. Only just got through to half-time about 7 or 8 minutes ago. It's back now with Strakosha, who probably was expecting a slightly more busy afternoon, and I think there is going to be a spell in this second half where United are just going to have to pile on, because they can't allow this game to just sort of peter out 1-0 down at home to Brentford. Got to try and do something to move things around. As Strakosha's long ball just about kept in play there by Hickey, goes back towards Janelt. That's not a good ball from the German though. Picked off here in midfield by Dalot. It's now with Christian Eriksen. Back to Amrabat. Turns away from Jensen. Finding Marcus Rashford. Now back towards Johnny Evans on the halfway line. Square to Christian Eriksen in the centre circle. Options left and right. He picks out Maguire on the right-hand side. Still around 35 yards out from goal. Maguire finding Amrabat at the edge of the area, leaving the ball here now for Mount. And then it's Dalot's ball in. Good header away by Ethan Pinnock, who was ever present for Brentford in that defence in the first 45 minutes. Rashford now for Bruno Fernandes. Back to Rashford. Leaving this here at the edge of the area now for Johnny Evans, and then a shot from a long way out. Strakosha dives, he can't hold on to it, and it's quickly cleared. It was a decent effort. Christian Eriksen really put his foot through that, and Strakosha made a good save to stop the initial ball, but he'll be thankful that because Eriksen was a long way out, United obviously would have been offside if they were any closer, and in the end it's gone out for a throw to Brentford, which has infuriated Victor Lindelof. But we'll see this replay again. Eriksen really puts some power through that. It's heading down the middle, but there is a bit of movement. Strakosha gets down and makes a good save. Højlund was following up, but Nathan Collins had the head start on him there. And the Republic of Ireland international has just been called up for the next round of internationals there. Nathan Collins puts in a decent clearance. So already we're seeing a little bit of a pattern here at the start of this second half, with United really trying to put some pressure here on Brentford. Here is Hickey though, bringing the ball out for the Bees. Finding Norgard. Back towards Collins. Finding Ethan Pinnock. Ball now out towards the right-hand side, headed out by Victor Lindelof. Gets there before Mads Roslev, who's waiting to take the throw, but he leaves it here for Matthias Jensen. So that suggests to me that potentially we are going to see a bit more of a long throw here. Jensen does have the ability to send this long. As I say, doesn't want to take too long over it. We've seen players getting bookings for taking too long over a throw on this season. Just ask Takehiro Tomiyasu about that. But Jensen waiting here now, waiting a long time as well. Referee's already asking him to hurry up. Jensen is launching this one long into the penalty area. Aims at Collins. It's headed on towards goal, and Nana makes the save, and it's cleared off the line. It was headed on and heading towards goal. The goalkeeper, there was a United defender on the line as well, but they just about deal with that. It was Jensen's long throw aimed at the edge of the 6-yard box, headed up in the air by Ayer, and then it was actually Ayer heads it first. Collins then flicks it on, and it was actually Norgard that shouldered that one towards goal. So in actual fact, there wasn't as much power on that as I initially thought. So you'd always expect either Onana or Dalot to clear it. It was actually Diogo Dalot that got the final clearance on that. United have pushed forward in the meantime. It's Marcus Rashford at the edge of the area, turns and fires towards goal, but it looked promising. Just not on target there from the United number 10. No curl on that one really for Marcus Rashford. It was almost like a diagonal ball with no bend in it whatsoever. Shooting from the left-hand side, trying to find that top corner. So we can see a slightly more troubled Erik ten Hag now. As I say, he's been compared to a politician over the last few weeks with all the questions he's been having to answer about whether it's Jadon Sancho or Antony. Having to say, look, the club have made their statement, we're waiting to see what happens next, etc. And it's not the right distraction from the stuff off the pitch, but I suppose it does mean he's having to answer a few less questions about that. But of course, as soon as United start playing badly and concede goals and lose games, the journalists aren't going to be linking that to the fact that there are problems off the pitch as well. So it's a no-win situation here for Ten Hag. As I say, he just needs his side to find a little bit more form as United win a throw down the right-hand side. Eriksson shouting for the ball. Dalot deciding to just send this one back. But Mbeumo hits the deck in the meantime as well. Collides with Bruno Fernandes, but no free kick. United in possession here down the left-hand side with Lindelof, finding Højlund breaking into the penalty area down the left-hand side. He does well here, Højlund, trying to turn and get a shot away, but there are 3 Brentford players blocking his path. And just by sheer weight of numbers there, they are able to clear the lines. It's Ajer with the clearance in the end, up towards the halfway line. Taken down here by Sofyan Amrabat. Manchester United, 56 minutes gone. Unofficial independent off-tube studio commentary is Manchester United 0, Brentford 1. And they are underway now in the second half at Craven Cottage, where Fulham are goalless with Sheffield United. As Manchester United here at Old Trafford, pushing on with Victor Lindelof. He puts the ball into the box, and it's a slightly miscued clearance there from Christopher Ajer. Although in the end, it obviously does put it out for a goal kick, a corner kick, I should say. So he's dealt with the danger initially. Here comes the ball in now from the left-hand side. It's a bit too much whip on that, really. Comfortable header away there from Ajer. And out for a throw to United now on the right-hand side. Mason Mount with the ball. Will he be taking it himself? Or is he going to leave it? He is going to leave it here for Diogo Dalot. Needs a couple of players getting a bit closer to him just to give him a few options. Time being, just preferring to throw this one in to Mount. He gets it back off the United number 7 and then playing it in towards Amrabat. Amrabat just holding it up and then putting a cross into the penalty area, hooked away by Ethan Pinnock up towards the halfway line. Diagonal ball now from Johnny Evans. It's a good one as well. Mount with a header there, trying to head that into the path of Bruno Fernandes, but that's headed back into midfield. It's not a good pass there from Mbeumo, though. He had time. He just played it sort of assuming there'd be somebody joining him from the left-hand side, and gives it away to United. But then just as I say that, Eriksson's given it away himself, and now Norgard can step forward for Brentford. He finds Mbeumo, who treads on the ball but still keeps it in play, and then spreads the play out towards the right-hand side. Here comes Mads Roslev, and he needs a few options here, just slows the attack down at the edge of the box, but Brentford players are streaming forward in the meantime. Although the counter-attack has gone here for Brentford, they have got some positional play here now inside the Manchester United half. It's with Ethan Pinnock over to Christopher Ajer. Stepping forward now down the right-hand side. Norgard gets it back, finding Mbeumo. Refuses to pass with that right foot. It's all left foot for Mbeumo, as we know. The cross coming in. Oh, that's rushed in the end. Bit of a disappointment for Brentford, having had all that possession. Started out with a promising counter-attack, then a good bit of possession in the United half. 15-20 passes to just put a bit of an aimless ball into the box. United have had 8 efforts in this game, 2 of which have been on target. Brentford have had 9 efforts, only 1 has been on target, but that has given them the 1-0 lead. Here come United now. There's a third goal to tell you about at Goodison, but we'll just see this attack out first as Marcus Rashford breaks into the box. He plays it square into the penalty area. There's a man down inside the Brentford box, but it's Vitaly Janelt who was brought down by Mason Mount, who is shouting to the heavens there in frustration as to why that free kick has been given against him. We'll see from the replay. Rashford skips past Roslev, plays it square, and then Janelt, well, I mean, I don't know what Mount's complaining about. He's caught the man and not got the ball. So anyone who had done that to him in that situation, he'd be hitting the deck as well. In the meantime, Everton now lead 3-0 against Bournemouth. It was Garner and Harrison in the first half, and now Abdoulaye Doucouré. Well, Doucouré even has made it 3-0 to Everton against Bournemouth. So just Just to remind you of the scores in the early game, Luton 0, Tottenham 1. In the games being played right now, it's Burnley 1, Chelsea 2, Everton 3, Bournemouth 0, goalless between Fulham and Sheffield United and Manchester United trail against Brentford by a goal to nil, but they're on the attack again now. Højlund trying to turn and get a shot away, but he's blocked, and now Wissa is away through the middle here for Brentford, threads a ball through to Mbeumo, but it's a little bit too much to ask there for Mbeumo. It was always going to be a United defender getting there first, and that's played back very quickly towards Andre Onana. Just gone past the hour mark here. United pushing forward again down the left here. Rashford stopped by a challenge from Christopher Ajer, who's certainly competing with Ethan Pinnock in terms of being Brentford's best defender this afternoon. The two of them really have been. That's not to say that Collins has had a bad game, but certainly Pinnock in the first half seemed to be everywhere for Brentford, winning headers and blocking shots as well. Here come the home side now with Mount down the right-hand side. Gets the ball from Dalot back in towards Amrabat. Here is Mount again. Away from Hickey, putting it up back towards Dalot. It's with Harry Maguire. He's it now towards Johnny Evans. Maguire again to Amrabat. Dalot there holding it up, switching play over now towards the left-hand side. Johnny Evans. Some space down the left here for Rashford and Fernandes. Højlund now getting a little bit deeper. Eriksen was actually the furthest forward there for United, but Brentford was sort of partially deal with it, at least stopping the initial run. A nutmeg there from Bruno Fernandes on Röster, but he still gets a foot in and just about stops the Portuguese in his tracks. And then a quick pass played back to Strakosha, who doesn't waste any time. He just hurls, clears that as long as he can up towards the halfway line. And United trying to come again here now. Over now towards Dalot. Dalot's ball into the box, and for a second there, Strakosha, apologies there, picture just froze momentarily. When we got the picture back, it was Mount teeing it up for Dalot, and he was just slightly off balance when he hit that. In an ideal world, it would have been Dalot setting it up for Mount. But United are making a double change here, and that's the last we're going to see of Mason Mount. He's off to be replaced by Antony. Brazilian back in the team after a bit of an absence. Marcus Rashford is getting the hook as well. And he's replaced by Alejandro Garnacho. The young Argentine has proved to be a bit of a saviour for Manchester United on more than one occasion. To say he won't mind having that reputation, but I think United would have been hoping that he would have had a bit more time just to sort of bed into the team. But with so many players out of form, Garnacho's being asked to do a little bit more. And, with just over half an hour. Just under half an hour, but we suppose if we include the injury time, it will be about half an hour still to play. It gives Garnacho a lot of time to try and get something going here for Manchester United. They've had enough possession. They've certainly had more possession than they had in the first half after the first 15 or 20 minutes. But really, there's only been one save for Strakosha to make and a couple of crosses to deal with. So United still need to sharpen up their attack. Run you through the other players on the two benches in just a moment, but for the time being, United on the attack down the right here. First touch of the ball now for Antony. Leaves it now for Christian Eriksen. Eriksen now to Maguire. Amrabat over towards the left-hand side. In towards the penalty area. Strike at goal, and it's the side netting there from Rasmus Højlund. Don't think there's a touch from Strakosha, so it is just going to be a Brentford goal kick. But that needed to happen. I think United have got to do a little bit something more unexpected. Højlund turned, saw the goal and fired towards him. Strakosha's diving pretty much level with his side netting, so there was no chance of that beating him at the near post. The last second there, the Albanian keeper actually just hiding his hands just in case. So Brentford restart with a short ball. It's played back to Strakosha very quickly. This time he plays a good pass down the right for Christopher Ajer. Being tracked here by Garnacho, but Ajer does really well. It's a great run here from Ajer. Gets all the way to the edge of the United penalty area and puts a cross in as well, which isn't too far away from Johan Wissa. That would have been an amazing assist there for somebody who's on paper today playing as one of the three Brentford centre-backs. He ran pretty much 3/4 of the length of the pitch, beating a youngster for pace and then getting across into the box as well, as Vitaly Janelt has given a free kick away in quite a dangerous position, around 30 yards out. He's tripped his man. In fact, it's Nathan Collins has given a free kick away. I thought it was I thought it was a final touch there from Janelt. We'll see from this replay what the referee has actually spotted. Well, I mean, it's a hand across from Nathan Collins. I mean, it's a ridiculous thing to get booked for. In both senses of the word, it's a ridiculous thing that Collins has put his arm out. It's also ridiculous that a grown man, a professional athlete, could hit the deck after that kind of tiny little contact. But as I say, Collins should have known that, shouldn't have given United this chance. It's a free kick from Christian Eriksen, which, quite frankly, is just not good enough. I could have used stronger words there, but we'll just leave it at not good enough. He's played a ball from the right on a diagonal, trying to pick out a teammate, and it's sailed. I mean, it's still in the air when it goes out of play for a goal kick. There was no chance of anybody in a red shirt getting on the end of that. Now, I mentioned a third goal for Everton. They now lead against Bournemouth by 3-0. Say Doucouré after Harrison and Garner's goals. Fulham now have taken the lead against Sheffield United. It's looking like a bleak old season for the Blades from Sheffield, and it's Jamaican international Bobby Decordova-Reid with the goal for Fulham. Meanwhile, Chelsea have a third at Turf Moor. Started looking so good for Burnley at the start of play, but it's now Burnley 1, Chelsea 3, and it's Raheem Sterling with the goal for Chelsea in that game. Looking at a couple of results in the Championship as well. It's Leeds 2, Bristol City 1, QPR 0, Blackburn 4. It's goalless in the South versus West Yorkshire derby between Sheffield Wednesday and Huddersfield. Southampton leading a 0 against Rotherham United as well. Ipswich 3-2 up in what looks like a great game against Preston North End. But back here at Old Trafford, it's Brentford in possession, pushing forward down the right. Johan Wissa getting the ball now, and he scuffed that pass. He was trying to pick out Hickey, but that's easily blocked by Antony. He goes square to Amrabat, who's trying to get away from Vitaly Janelt. He's got to be careful there. That's going to be a yellow card for Janelt, I think, because he was holding on to Amrabat's shirt, made no effort to play the ball, and he actually had 2 goes at it as well there, the German, so I'm not sure he can have any arguments whatsoever. Just to tell you, there's a VAR review in that game between Burnley and Chelsea. So potentially Sterling's goal that makes it 3-1 may still be chalked off. I mentioned the 2 benches. So United have already brought on Antony and Eriksen and Garnacho. They still have Pellistri, Hannibal Mabry, Martial, Van der Beek, McTominay and goalkeeper Banidia still to bring on the field if they need to. They're on the attack now, United. It's a cross in from Maguire. That's a really good stay from Strakosha, and he has been crashed into there by Garnacho. That should be a booking, in my opinion. That's if it's not Garnacho. In fact, it was Lindelof. Maybe he got a rush of blood to the head being so far up the field, but that was clearly the goalkeeper's. He clearly makes a save, and yet he's still Lindelof still jumping into. I suppose you can argue that Lindelof couldn't really do anything. The ball was still there to be won, but I didn't like that challenge. I thought it was avoidable, I think, and if this was happening to the home keeper, I think there would have been some words about that. But the Brentford bench is Zanka Jorgensen, Sam Godos, Frank Onyeka, Kim Ji-so, Michael Oligakby. There's also Yeko Yarmoliuk, Neil Maupay, Ethan Brearley and Ellery Balcom. Ellery Balcom is the interesting one there, of course, because he is Brentford's third keeper. And he may, as I say, he came up to Manchester thinking that he probably wouldn't even be on the bench when, say, yesterday evening. He probably would have assumed he was just going to be watching the game from the stands with a couple of other squad players that wouldn't make the bench. But now, of course, there's every chance he might actually be needed here, because Strakosha looks to be in quite a lot of pain. It would be a shame for the Albanian international, who's waited a long time for his first Premier League game for Brentford, and it really would be fantastic for him if he could see out this, what is still looking like a Brentford win for the time being. But in the meantime, the Bees are making other changes. It's Vitaly Janelt has just been booked, and he's going to be going off here to be replaced by Frank Onyeka. Pretty much a like-for-like swap, although Onyeka probably a little bit more defence-minded than Janelt. And you can see also Neil Maupay is getting ready to come on, and he's going to replace Johan Wissa. He's done a fair amount of running for Brentford today. It's a fascinating story, that Neil Maupay. Left Brentford to go to Brighton, scored a few goals for them, couldn't quite bed down in that team, went to Everton, couldn't bed down at Goodison at all, and now he's been loaned back to his former club Brentford. It's, as I say, that double change for the Bees. Mopé on for Wissa, Onyeka on for Yana. We're past the three-quarter mark in the game. Now we're at 70 minutes. It's Manchester United 0, Brentford 1. Scoreline from the first half still being maintained here. So in the meantime, still waiting for Strakosha to be checked. Antony Martial is getting ready to come on for Manchester United. It's quite incredible, really. By the way, Strakosha is back up on his feet. I'm still a little bit ginger there as he was taking that goal kick, but it looks like he's going to be okay to play on. It's quite incredible to think that Martial has been at Manchester United now. This is his 7th or 8th season now at Old Trafford. And, he's always scored goals, but he's just never really been able to sort of bed. I mean, I suppose the other factor is that how many managers has he seen at Old Trafford in that time as well? It's always like the new manager's got to try and work out his team, and Martial is obviously a goal scorer. He's a very able and skillful player, so he's always going to be there or thereabouts in the manager's thoughts, but it's just not really been able to become that regular goal scorer, that regular starter for the Red Devils. As United, here they go again now with Bruno Fernandes. Does really well to skip away from Jensen. He fires towards goal. Strakosha, two-handed save, pushes it away, pushes it a long way away as well, right towards the edge of the area where Aya then clears it. I'll tell you what, the Brentford keeper still grabbing his right side, having made that save. I think he is feeding that collision with Victor Lindelof. But Bruno Fernandes, that was a good effort, and it needed a good save. It was at the right height for Strakosha, though. He was always favourite, I thought, to make that save. Slowly but surely, these efforts on target are starting to add up now for Manchester United. Just to confirm, it's Victor Lindelof who's gone off to be replaced by Antony Martial. So it's a bit of a tactical change here from United as well. Just trying to work out who would go into that right back role. Are they going to go with a 3? I'm not sure they're going to go with a 3. What's more likely is that Amrabat's going to be asked to fill that left back role again. In fact, he is already there in that position now. Is the Moroccan international. Gets the ball at the edge of the area, looking to cross it. No, he just plays it short to Martial. Back towards Amrabat. Towards the edge of the penalty area, picked off here by Garnacho. He then puts the ball into the box, and Ethan Pinnock with the clearance puts that one back into midfield. Eriksson tracking back to keep this one in play for United. Now it's a long ball down the right-hand side, one for Antony to chase. Collins is already on a booking, has got to be careful as he's trying to stop Antony. Played back now towards Dallo, who breaks into the box. Dallo then plays it square. It's stopped by Onyeka. It's still lurking at the edge of the area. Brentford want a free kick for the foul, and the referee agrees. There was a challenge there. Oh, it looks like it was Neil Mopé who was brought down by Johnny Evans. Could argue both players were out of position there. Evans was too far up the field, and potentially Mopé too far back. But of course, Mopé, although he is a striker, he's going to be asked to do a lot of defensive work for Brentford, I think, just to try and stop United as far up the field as he can. Waiting now with this goal kick, free kick I should say, to Brentford at the edge of their own penalty area. Less than 20 minutes to go now. As I say, it's United still looking at full speed at all. The next, of course, we're in an international break after this weekend. And so there'll be some interesting games for both of these teams when they come back. Manchester United are away to Sheffield United in what looks like a Monday night game. And Brentford, meanwhile, will be playing away to home to Burnley in their first game back, and then it's a trip to Chelsea, followed by a game at home to West Ham and then away to Liverpool. So it's a busy end of October and start of November for Thomas Frank's side. United, as I say, they play away to Sheffield United in the Monday night game after the Premier League resumes. Or in fact, it might be the Friday night game. In any case, they play Sheffield United, then they're home to Copenhagen. And after that, it's the small matter of the Manchester derby at home to City before they play Newcastle at home in a Carabao Cup game on the 1st of November. But Brentford have won themselves a throw. It's close to the United penalty area. Jensen launching that one into the box. Eriksson puts the foot in there just to put it out. I think it is out for a throw rather than a corner. So a chance now for Brentford once again. I can tell you that VAR review at Turf Moor was in Chelsea's favour, so they are 3-1 up at Burnley, potentially 4-1 up now as well. Getting word of a 4th goal there for Pochettino's side. Brentford with this throw on the right-hand side. It's headed on by Ayer. It needed a second touch inside the penalty area, but now all of a sudden Brentford potentially going to pay for sending too many players forward because United are on the counter. It's Antony's ball. It's played back towards Onyeka. Onyeka gets a challenge in. The referee says free kick to Brentford at the edge of their own box. Højlund can't believe it. He thought there might have been a challenge or a decision going his way. But I've got to say, this is kamikaze from Brentford. They're 1-0 up away from home at Old Trafford, and they sent everybody up for a long throw. You've got to leave. I mean, Brentford have been caught out for this. You go back to the Championship, they conceded goals where they sent everybody forward for a set piece, but this is not good enough, and they get away with it a little bit there. Onyeka gets his body in the way. It's clever play from Frank Onyeka, in fairness, because what he does is he makes sure his body's in front of the ball. He gives Højlund the choice. Either you let me turn with this myself, or you run into me and then I get a free kick. And Højlund went for option B, and the referee duly gave Brentford a free kick. More and more worried Erik ten Hag on the touchline there. I mean, it's worth pointing out, of course, if Brentford do see this result out, they haven't had a good start to the season. So they've only won away at Fulham this season. For all the talk about Brentford's fortress at the G-Tech, how well they play at home, they haven't actually won a home game this season. Had 3 draws and 2 defeats, if you include the League Cup game as well. But here come United now. They're not so prepared to take this result lying down. It's played up to Garnacho, smashes it over the bar. There was a line of Manchester United players at the edge of the area, played over towards Garnacho on the left-hand side, and his strike lifted over the bar. Strakosha, in the end, did not have to make a save. Chelsea have a 4th at Turf Moor. It's Burnley 1, Chelsea 4. It's turning into a nightmare afternoon for Vincent Kompany's side. And it's Nicholas Jackson with the goal that makes it 4-1. Important for Jackson to get that goal. Say, for all the talent, for all the money spent at Stamford Bridge, they've actually had quite a few of their forward players. They still do have a few of their forward players out injured, but slowly but surely they're coming back. Jackson was suspended. He's now back in the team and back on the score sheet today. United in possession now on the halfway line. Martial back towards Diogo Dalot. Here is Harry Maguire, leaving this one now for Onana. Played forward now to Amrabat. Brentford perhaps guilty of just sitting back a little bit too deep here. United finding some space in midfield. It's over now towards the right-hand side here. An overlap from Diogo Dalot into the penalty area. That's stopped at the edge of the 6-yard box by Collins. And then Jensen waited a little bit too long there with the clearance. Could have put it out, sent it down the line, but just chose to hold on to it. Lost his balance, and it's out for a throw to United on the right-hand side. Towards Johnny Evans. To Amrabat. Back now into the penalty area. Højlund is there under pressure. Oh, Martial goes down. Referee wags his finger, says no penalty. Tell you what, from my angle, it looked like there could have been a question to be asked. And a strike from the edge of the area from Bruno Fernandes goes over the bar. And now the referee is saying, wait, so we are going to check. So let's have a look here at our first replay of this. Is there any suggestion that Antony Martial is brought down? I don't think there is. But Onyeka, Onyeka's very close to Martial. But could you say that Onyeka actually brings down Antony Martial? I am not so sure. I'd be surprised, although, as I say, we've all been surprised by VAR on more than one occasion. Check complete. We are playing on. So on that occasion, not enough of a suggestion there to say that Martial was brought down. So with 12 minutes to go before we hit injury time at Old Trafford, it is still Manchester United 0, Brentford 1. Brentford now trying to keep the ball as high up the field as they can. Onyeka heads it on for Maupay. That's a just clumsy challenge from Neal Maupay. He's suggesting that he won the ball. I am not so sure that he did, and a French forward is going to get a yellow card here now from Andy Madley. So it's starting to add up in this game for Brentford. They've still got 4 players on the pitch that have got a yellow card: Maupay, Norgard and Collins and Hickey. And Yano is off the field, and he got a booking as well. So 5 Brentford players in the book this afternoon. Can tell you there's been a second goal at Craven Cottage, and it's an equaliser for Sheffield United. So Fulham still with their struggles this season. Sheffield United, of course, winless in the league, but that'll be a big point away from home if they can hold on to that. Just waiting for a confirmation of the goal scorer there in that game. Ball now out for a throw to Brentford down the left-hand side. We saw a moment ago Erik ten Hag getting very frustrated, suggesting that the Bees are taking too long with their throw-ons, with their set piece. There's no need to worry, of course, because all that time can be added. And I think with the injury to Strakosha, the substitutions, a couple of quick, albeit no on the field, but a couple of VAR checks and things, I think we're probably looking at 5 or 6 minutes already as things stand of injury time. But Brentford now on the counter. Norgard picking out Mbeumo, who breaks into the box. A bit of space here for Mbeumo. He plays that across the 6-yard box. Nobody in a Brentford shirt close enough to take advantage. Mopé and Hickey were breaking into the penalty area, but neither of them could get on the end of that one. Onana now restarts play. Dalot into the middle. And Johnny Evans over towards the left-hand side, finding Sofiane Amrabat. Holding the ball up here in midfield. And looking for options left and right, finding Garnacho into the penalty area. Stopped there by Ruslev. And out for a throw. Back towards the halfway line. To hit by Harry Maguire. And now just trying to get things going. Over to now potentially a twist. It looks like there's a VAR check in that game at Craven Cottage. So Sheffield United have scored, but potentially there could be a offside. Looks as though, well, it's the information I'm getting is that Anthony Robinson scored an own goal, but yet they're checking for an offside. And obviously, it must have been an offside in the build-up before the ball was put into his own net by Anthony Robinson. So we'll wait to hear exactly what's happened there at Craven Cottage. But back here at Old Trafford, it's as you were, a possession for Manchester United, close to the Brentford penalty area, but not too many options to actually get the ball into the box. Played back towards the halfway line now. Maguire over towards the right-hand side. Back to Harry Maguire. Dalot again. Antony's dropped a little bit deeper this time. Back towards Harry Maguire. It's been a tough afternoon if you're a Manchester United fan, but again, this isn't going to be a new thing. This has been something that's been happening now, I think, since the start of this season. United just haven't had that sort of dominant style of play and that possession and that sort of chain of passes, the succession that you would expect from them, really. And they've given the ball away here in midfield, and there's a chance here for Brentford if Mopé can keep this ball alive at the edge of Mopé. Goes for goal, and he forces a one-handed save from Andre Onana. Brentford actually had possession in midfield. The ball was played forward towards the edge of the United penalty area. It was cut out, but Mopé was able to get on the loose ball. It wasn't a particularly good ball there from Johnny Evans. And Mopé's effort, that was heading just underneath the bar. It needed a one-handed save, and it was a very good save as well from Onana. Tipping it over for a corner kick to Brentford. Rare attacking set piece for the Bees in this second half. Players streaming forward, but as I say, Brentford want to be careful. They already nearly got caught out with a throw they had at the edge of the United penalty area, where they sent too many players forward. Sam Ghoddos, another interesting story here. The Iranian international left Brentford at the end of last season after his contract expired, and when he didn't find himself a new club over the summer, Brentford re-signed him. So as Ghoddos back into the team, and on the field now replacing Matthias Jensen. The Bees goal scorer is off, and Ghoddos is on. Brentford now with this corner kick from the left-hand side. Plenty of options here. As this ball is whipped in, it's headed towards goal, and it's a one-handed save by Onana, tipping it over the bar. It's Christian Norgard with the header. It's a good header as well from Norgard. Doesn't put a lot of power into it, he just redirects the cross, and that, I think that might have actually been heading bang on the crossbar rather than just underneath it. But Onana making a good save, and Brentford with another corner kick from the right-hand side this time. See who their corner kick taker will be on this occasion. It's going to be the left-footed Bryan Mbeumo. So it is going to be an in-swinging ball. Ghoddos is there for the short ball as well. But United have left the player there. It's played in towards the 6-yard box. It drops. It can't quite sit up for Christopher Ayer. It's still kept alive here at the edge of the area by Onyeka. He bumps into Garnacho. Heads it on Onyeka. Does that stay in play? It just about does, and United can go on a counter now. If Højlund can hold on to this, that's a shocking challenge on him. There's going to be a potential yellow card there, I think, for one of the Brentford players that slid in on Højlund. This is will be a free kick. It might be Goros that picks up this yellow card, is it? I'm not sure if Madley has shown a yellow card there, our referee. But United have taken the free kick quickly. No surprise, of course, they're in a rush to get things done as quickly as possible. It's now on the left-hand side. Switching play towards Harry Maguire. Holding it up now on the right-hand side towards Onana. Playing the ball towards the edge of the penalty area. It's a good header away here by Collins. And then United want a free kick, or maybe even a penalty, but the referee's not interested. Martial hit the deck. Nothing doing, says Andy Madley. United keeping possession inside the run-up. Only just, though, Amrabat being closed down there by Mopé. But his side are able to get the ball away. It's now with Harry Maguire. Forward to Højlund. Bruno Fernandes. Towards the left-hand side now. Garnacho dropping a shoulder, but still being well marshalled there by Frank Onyeka. Back to Amrabat. Amrabat in a more central role this time. Seeing Antony on the right-hand side. Just holding it up and playing it back towards Maguire. Left with Eriksen. It's not had as much of an impact as I would have thought. It's just been a difficult afternoon for United in front of goal, but now they've got a bit of space, and Antony trying an effort. He gets that all wrong. Has he got a deflection? He claims that it did. Brentford is saying that it didn't. I mean, if it did get a deflection, both sets of players quite convinced that they're right, but the referee does go with the United version that it's a deflected ball. In the meantime, United are going to make a change here in midfield. Scotland international Scott McTominay is going to be coming on for Sofiane Amrabat. So Amrabat off and McTominay on. See if there's another change there for United. No, it's just that one change for now. In fact, there can't be any more. That is the fifth change. So barring a concussion substitution, United cannot make any more tactical changes in this game. Eriksen, Martial, Antony, Garnacho and McTominay, the five subs on the field for United. Fulham's goal, by the way, did stand. Sheffield United's goal in the game with Fulham did stand, but now we're getting word of Fulham retaking the lead in that game. Here's the corner kick for Manchester United, lifted towards the 6-yard box, and Strakosha was really crowded there in his 6-yard box. He's unhappy that he's having his shirt pulled as well. In the end, I think the corner kick got a touch off a Brentford player before going out for a throw down the United right. Diogo Dalot is waiting to take this one. Can confirm that Fulham are 2-1 up against Sheffield United now. And haven't got confirmation of the goal scorer there yet, but it's a United throw. Dalot's throw into the box. Good, strong, powerful header away there by Christopher Ayer. For another throw to United. Now with Bruno Fernandes. Square to Eriksen. On the left-hand side now, in towards Højlund. Onyeka brought down, and that's Onyeka brings down his man, and that's going to be a free kick to United in a decent position. Onyeka brought in to try and steady the defensive midfield for Brentford, but that's clumsy. I mean, Garnacho's already made the pass. Onyeka doesn't need to have any contact with him, and he's just encouraging the referee to give United a free kick, which the referee duly does. So a good opportunity now for the Red Devils to try and get this ball in towards goal, and it's certainly within shooting range here for Bruno Fernandes. It's on the left-hand side, so right-footed curling effort could be the order of the day here for the Portuguese. We'll see what he does. He lifts it over the wall, but it's a good save from Strakosha. Second effort played it back into the 6-yard box, and United have an equaliser on 89 minutes. Brentford are appealing an offside, and the flag does go up. So now, well, as I say, we know with VAR and an offside that can potentially spell all kinds of problems for everybody now. But let's just have a look whether or not there is an offside. The referee, for the time being, has disallowed the goal, but that doesn't mean to say that it can't be given, of course. We are going to check now to see where the offside has happened as this free kick is taken. Martial was clearly in an offside position there, and he gets a touch on the ball, or he tries to get a touch on the ball, so I don't think there's too many arguments about this one. Yes, he does. Martial clearly gets a touch, and then that deflects off a Brentford player and into the back of the net. So as far as I'm concerned, having seen the one replay. We're now getting the official purple screen VAR replay with the TV pictures that we're getting, but I can't see there being too many debates about this. Mind you, they would have said that during the Tottenham-Liverpool game last week as well, but we all know what happened there. So let's just wait and see what the officials have got to say. And the quicker the better, please, chaps, as well. The referee now confirming check has been complete, and it is an offside, and there's no doubts, I don't think, in my mind, that is the correct decision. So we're less than 30 seconds now of regulation play here at Old Trafford. Still Manchester United 0, Brentford 1. So we're just waiting for our fourth official now, Mr. Martin, to confirm just how much injury time there's going to be. I'm saying 6 minutes, and we'll wait and see just how close I was to that one. Meantime, United trying to get forward again now. Long ball up to Højlund. 6 minutes it is. Say 2 out of 2 in this game for predicting the injury time, first and second half. But that's United losing the ball there in midfield. Mope then with a chance to play it forward for Brentford. He gets blocked off immediately, and United go forward again now with Diogo Dalot down the right hand side for Antony, getting away from Aaron Hickey. Back now towards the halfway line for Bruno Fernandes. Harry Maguire in a more advanced position now. It's his cross into the penalty area. It eludes everyone in the box, but it's going to be kept alive here on the left by Garnacho. Back to Antony, who scuffs his shot, and then it's a proper long clearance there. Old-fashioned hoof from Christopher Ajer back towards the halfway line. This is just going to be 5 minutes of United trying to bombard Brentford now with this injury time. Already had the ball in the net, though rightfully disallowed for offside. They're going to win themselves a corner kick here as well. They are not. Look at this, celebrating winning a goal kick like he's just scored the winning goal there, the Norwegian defender. Absolutely delighted with that. And so will the travelling contingent from Brentford be, albeit it's a smaller one than it was supposed to be. The National Rail strike today has put pay to quite a few Brentford fans' plans, even ones that had tickets and went to London Euston today in good faith, but unfortunately there were more cancellations than you could have predicted today. I think part of that is down to the weather situation up in Scotland as well. It's just made things even more difficult on our beloved rail network, he said sarcastically, as the ball now goes down the left-hand side. It will be a throw to Brentford. Aaron Hickey leaves this for a teammate. Any couple of seconds that Brentford can try and eke out of this throw, and they're going to try and use them. Referee is now beckoning the beast to hurry up with this a little bit more. Thomas Frank looking very relaxed, as I say. He's had some difficult times as Brentford manager before. No more difficult than when he first became Brentford manager. He only had 2 wins out of his first 12 games when Brentford was still in the Championship, and was very close to potentially losing his job, but just managed to get a little bit of form out of the team, and then things sort of started to snowball and improve from there. And, as I say, he'll be probably quite frustrated that straight after this game, which Brentford are hoping to hold on to here, with this win at Old Trafford, there'll be an international break. But I suppose it works both ways. You'd like to carry on when you've got a good bit of form, but then on the other hand, players go away in a better mood having had this big win away from home. But as I say, let's not speak too soon, because United are still on the attack. There's a strike coming in. It's only partially saved by Strakosha, and a second effort is in the back of the net, and there is not going to be any offside this time. It's Scott McTominay who finds the net. Strakosha could have done a little bit better with the first effort, can't do anything with the second, and it is a late equaliser here for Manchester United. They have been fighting for this goal since the start of the second half. They've had a few close run-ins now, but on this occasion, as I say, there won't be any poor from Strakosha. It's poor from Collins as well. He's got to do better with that first clearance. And there's no offside this time. It's a good finish from McTominay as well. Good work from Garnacho. We've got a very very slow replay there of him trying to keep the ball in play. It definitely stayed in play as well. And as I say, looking at it from Brentford's point of view, Collins should have done better with the clearance. Strakosha should have done better with the first effort. It was completely unsighted with the second. And Erik ten Hag absolutely delighted with that equaliser. Well, more relieved than delighted, I would guess. But we've still got a couple of minutes to play here. We'll probably get an extra minute on top of the 6. So United haven't given up the ghost of winning this game now. They're straight on the attack again. Ball just about kept in play by Garnacho, who then collides with the corner flag over on that left-hand side. And I think that is going to be out for a throw to Brentford in the end. Erik ten Hag trying to... well, he's getting very frustrated here now with the amount of time it's taking Brentford to take a throw on. As I say, he won't be the first manager in history to complain about time wasting when it suits him and then deny it when it doesn't suit him. But it's a long throw now from Aya, headed on by Mbeumo. Won't be kept in play there by Mope, hooked in towards the Brentford penalty area, headed away by Ethan Pinnock. Second ball now down the left-hand side. Garnacho running into Onyeka. And it's out for a throw to United, taken quickly by Garnacho himself. Back towards the halfway line, played into the penalty area. Potentially a chance there for Antony. No, he decides to lay this one off for Bruno Fernandes. It's with Eriksson now, his ball into the box. Højlund hits the deck. There may still be a chance, a shot coming in from Martial, but it's straight at the goalkeeper. It wasn't particularly powerful from Martial, and it's a comfortable save in the end from Strakosha. Suggestion there potentially that there might have been a handball from Pinnock. I don't think there was. It was close to his arm, but I don't think it actually struck his arm. And the effort from Martial wasn't a particularly good one. Pretty much straight at the goalkeeper. We've had almost all of the 6 minutes we should have had in terms of injury time. I would guess we may get an extra minute on top of that because of the goal that was scored in injury time as well. So probably should be it as far as this game. United now looking for Højlund getting towards Norgard. Norgard does well though to stop his fellow countryman. Then Strakosha with a long clearance up to the halfway line, and Mbeumo bumping into Dalot, but it was actually Mbeumo's foul there. I thought maybe that might have been a foul the other way. It's a Cameroonian international there that's jumped into Dalot. It's a long ball now from Bruno Fernandes towards the edge of the area, headed on towards goal, and it's in the back of the net. United have won it. It's McTominay with his second goal of the afternoon. Brentford not marking from the set piece, and McTominay with a powerful header. And it's 2 goals for United in the last 2 minutes of injury time. Brentford capitulating at the last second here at Old Trafford. And it's the same old story, unfortunately, for Brentford in terms of their set piece marking. They let themselves down there after a long ball from the halfway line. And it's Manchester United that are going to get all 3 points this afternoon, after a really, really good effort here from the Bees, but they've been so far back, and there's no offside here either. It's McTominay with the header, but you've got to say that Brentford, once again, just guilty of ball watching after this. It's a good header from McTominay, but once again, it's disappointing from Brentford, just as you have to credit United for their effort in this second half. They really have pushed out all the stops here to try and make sure that they could win the game late on, and so we can see how delighted Erik ten Hag is with that win for his team. And what a substitution that was. McTominay brought on just to give United a bit more of a bolster in central midfield. Never mind that, he's come on and become a 2-goal hero here for United in these dying seconds. Real celebrations here from United as well. Antony, Andre Onana running all the way from his own goal to celebrate with his teammates at the other end of the field. We've had 8 minutes of injury time now. There won't be much more added on. There is no more added on. It's full time at Old Trafford. Manchester United leaving it very, very late indeed to beat Brentford by 2-1. Thank you very much for your company this afternoon. From myself, Paul Szczerbakowicz. Do join us again soon.